Here's my Prezi presentation, and I wanted to show PT clinic use now and in the future, and the reason why I wanted to look at it was on Gapminder. I found how much spending per person they spend on health, and I wanted to show from 2000 the US was at about almost $5,000, and then if you look at how the amount changed to 2010, the United States reaches over 8,000, so it almost doubles. So I wanted to see that, an area in health that is PT clinics, to see how they would grow in the future. And by that I wanted to look at how many people use it now, and age groups that might use it, and how many people live close to them, and maybe there's still age specifics that live by it. And from that, I used a REDCap survey and asked some students some questions. So their study ID is their name, and then their location, their age, their ethnicity, have they had physical therapy help in the past, how far they live from a clinic right now, and do they want to live by one in the future. So from that, I then graphed my points to kind of see if there was any comparisons between them. And so here's a table showing how close to clinics and how far my study participants live from clinics now. And then this was showing the age groups and how many of them said true and how many of them said false, if they want to live by one in the future. And then I did an overall graph as to who wants to live close to a physical therapy clinic in the future and who doesn't. And so from that, I wanted to show if maybe it's a specific age group or maybe there's illnesses shown, but I couldn't find too many things on a web source. I thought maybe by looking at a collection of police reports, I would be able to see maybe accidents and see if an area that has more car accidents, would it have more use of a physical therapy clinic. But unfortunately, this grouping of violations from New York was just smaller violations instead of just accidents. So there wasn't any type of external data sets that I could see that someone had done previously with physical therapy in relation to location. So from there, we go to why they live by it, and I think the main reason goes with the age group that I talked to. Most of them are athletes or in that young stage, and so most of them live either on a campus or close to a campus, and a lot of those places have physical therapy clinics in the area. I then made a video showing my data points in retrospect to the location, so going from Nicholasville, Lexington, and then Chicago as well. I made a GE graph, but unfortunately every time I hit run it doesn't allow me to go because it says I need to enter a latitude for Nicholasville, and I have one and I can't figure out how to get past it. But I attempted to get past it and I can't. The other thing, as you'll see in my YouTube video right here of my tour, is that I had a SketchUp, but unfortunately my SketchUp would not paste to my Google for whatever reason, so I couldn't get the two to work together. But I did create one. The next point that I want to show is I asked them a few more final questions, and on this slide I wanted to show the bare essence of a raw question. So I used my 1-2 3D image of a head, and I found that 68% of my participants found it important to live by a physical therapist either now or in the future, and 70 of them said that they would rather live by a therapist now rather than in the future. So I think that also has to deal with I have a lot of younger subjects in my age group. But my 1-2 3D image was just to show the raw essence of a very simple question, and so that's why it was a base cardboard. And then here is my conclusions as to why people want to live close to a physical therapist now or later.